Hey everybody, it's Stacy with Pageantry Now, and you can see that the show's set up a little bit different because we have on a different guest today. We are interviewing the Ms. Achievement Texas, the one that is vying for my title next Saturday. So stick with us right here on Pageantry Now. Hey everybody, thanks for being here. I'm Stacy and this is Pageantry Now. We are all about positivity and pageantry and being able to highlight the amazing things the title holders are doing using a crown and a sash. I get to actually wear my crown and my sash on the show. I'm super excited because I have one of my pageant sisters on. She's going to talk about her reign and vying for my title, which she will be, she's competing for it right now, but the interviews and then crowning my successor, crowning whomever wins next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be live on Facebook, on Pageantry Now, on Dr. World Productions and Ms. Achievement World. So you can look for us there. For those of you that are joining us today, please make sure that you ask questions. We want this to be interactive. We want to make sure that, we have questions for DeeAnna and not just me talking. So if you're in the audience, tap them in or put them into chat and I will ask them. Also, please make sure you keep them PC because we have teenagers that watch and we want to make sure that we keep everything appropriate for kids. And I think with all of that, let's do this. Are we ready? Let's go.
Hi.
Yay! Hi, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Sister Queen Love. Yay.
Yes, of course. Mostly I love you. You're the sweetest, most calmest, most patient, most loving queen, honestly. Thank you. Inspiring.
I woke up this morning and realized that it was 365 days ago today that I was crowned. So I get an extra 7 days, which is kind of cool. So.
Yes, I watched you win. It seemed like it was a tight race. I was a judge last year, sir, for a certain category, a special category, and it was very close.
It was tight. Yeah, it was definitely, we definitely had, we've got amazing women this year too. So we had amazing women last year. It was a half a point, not even half a point, like a point 0.05. So
yeah, it was 0.07 or something.
Yes, it was super, super close. So
just think about that. That is just, a miracle. In itself, that everybody is so talented and so gifted and so blessed that anyone could win. And I believe do a great job for the pageant.
Yeah. Well, and it's been an amazing year. And I'm lucky that I won, and I'm looking forward to whomever I crown next week, which is crazy too. Like I go through like these motions where I start crying and I'm like, okay, I'm done. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not done. But before, you know what? We haven't even had you introduce yourself. Do me a favor. Tell everybody who you are.
Okay. Well, my name is DeeAnna Krier. I'm Ms. Achievement Texas 2022. I'm a wife and a mother and an entrepreneur. So I've just been enjoying my life lately, though, because I'm right in my zone. I'm living a dream right now. And I'm just so thrilled to be a part of the Ms. Achievement World Pageant. I can't express it enough because it really teaches women how to self-care and self-love and then to give it out back to the world. That's what I'm all about anyway, is about giving and loving and sharing and educating. And I educate through experience and teaching them and working with the girls or even, young boys. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. We're just going to bless the people.
Amen. Well, that is really like this system. I know I was drawn to it because I knew the history of it. I knew that it was about the things that you do and how you make a difference in your community and educating and being able to mentor. And so that was super important to me. And being able to have between my previous title and now, like a year and a half, to be able to do that has been a wonderful experience. And I know that you really have run with becoming Ms. Achievement Texas. So, but let's talk a little bit about what made you get involved in pageantry and when that happened. So we'll talk a little bit about, why do you do this crazy thing? Because I always say it, pageantry is not for, it's not easy.
No.
And we're putting ourselves out there to be told we're not good enough pretty much. So why would you want to do that?
Interesting. So, we all have a little childhood dream in us, and it's put to the back. You forget about it. And so first, I believe that I've always wanted to be in a pageant. Back in Fairfield, Nebraska, with 500 people on a farm, I don't think we knew how to do that. I didn't know how Miss USA became Miss USA, but I would just dream about it. Or I loved watching the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, things like that, because we didn't have access to anything. We were out in the farm, but and we were poor, so it just wasn't able to take dance lessons or acting or modeling or really anything. So I just always had that little dream. Well, then we get married, have a business, we have kids. And so my daughter was invited to the National American Miss and All American Miss. And so she went to open call, then she went to state, then she went to nationals in LA. And I had the time of my life. And so did she. But I mean, I really had the time of my life. So she said, Mom, I think you should do it. You get into the pageant world. I can see this is yours. And she goes, Mom, it's in your spirit.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. So like, and I know this is not your first pageant, but you started what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? So it's
no, it was me. I started in January 2021. I signed up for Miss Senior World.
Right. Wow. Like, so it really hasn't been that long that you've been doing this. And I think it's remarkable that your mom, your daughter was like, "Hey, Mom, I think you got to try this."
Yes.
Which,
she challenged me, really. I mean, she
really?
was like,
Did she?
yeah, she did. She's like, you go do it. Because she did tell me it was really hard work and yet a lot of fun. And she said that she could see that I got this incredible joy from it. She said that she could just see it. And the other day she was here and she gave for Father's Day and she gave my husband the Mr. Achievement World Cups. And it was so cute. But as she's leaving, she's saying to me, Mom, I think you're going to win because it's in your spirit to win. So she's gently, giving me confidence.
So good. It's nice when what you reflect to your child reflects back on you. So I'm sure that you were that supportive parent, being able to show her and lift her up, and then she turns around and she does the same thing for you, which I think is, what the goal as a parent is, to have that kind of kindness shared between other people.
Really, my whole family. My husband is a constant supporter, and oh my goodness, he practices with me. He drives me places. He gives me the money, or he doesn't give me money, but he allows me to spend money and do what I need to do for clothing and things like that. Coaching. I joined Win a Pageant Academy with Alicia Darby, and Mrs. Petite USA Nancy Lyles was my pageant coach also. So I've just really dove head first. I just wanted to really learn. I took it really seriously, and it was just a strong passion of mine. I just love it. I love the fact that it teaches me and holds me accountable for taking care of myself. If I don't take care of myself, there's no way I can help someone else. I can't go to work and mentor those kids that are working for us. We hire 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. And when you have 14-year-olds there, you have to really be careful and watch over them. And you're there to teach them because they've never had a job before. And, those kids have grown up, gotten married, were Facebook friends when they joined the military or they moved out of state, and they come back and see us. And that means something to me. They respect and, I guess love me as family. Isn't that beautiful?
I agree, like, wholeheartedly. Like, that is one of the things, I've been competing in pageants for 40 years. So I love the sisterhood and what we have with that. But I also own a gymnastics company. And so I've been coaching for 40 years. I started both at the same time, which is kind of crazy. And now I have people that come back to me with their children. And I just think that is remarkable to have that kind of legacy where, they're like, "Hi, Miss Stacy." And I'm like, "Okay, have you been with us before?" "Oh, no, I had you when I was 2. What?
Oh,
You know what?
speaking of that, speaking of that, like, oh, I had you when I was 2. Speaking of that, so one day the doorbell rings and there's a lady with 3 kids and little toddlers and then an infant in her arm. And she rang the doorbell and she goes, "Hi." She goes, "I'm Nicole. Do you remember me? I used to work for you. I worked for you for 3 years. And I'm the person that caused you to lose your liquor license for 3 days because I forgot to ask for their ID."
Oh no!
And
Oh
I
my gosh!
was like, "Nicole." So anyway, she's our neighbor, so she's behind us. So their kids come over and swim. And we just, it's so cool how God works. He puts
Totally.
people in our lives and he wants to reward us and show us that we're not doing this in vain. This really hard work is for a purpose,
Yeah.
this hard work of taking care of yourself, taking care of your kids, taking care of other people's kids, taking care of the senior citizens, taking care of just your neighbor. That is what it's all about, is to get these fabulous rewards down the road when they come back and tell you something. I've also had some girls come up to me and apologize. I was at a hair salon and a young lady who I recognized, she came up to me and she said, "I just want to say I'm so sorry for talking back to you when you hired me." And I worked at Baker's Ribs for like 2 years when I was in high school. I go, "Yes, I remember you very well." And she goes, "I want to apologize for my immaturity and for being a problem." And she really wasn't a problem. She just kind of like talked back. And I was like, "Oh, well, okay, I received that. But just know I love you and I see that you're a mother and congratulations on your life."
It's
I
really
mean,
cool when you can see your legacy, because I think that sometimes when we are both older in pageantry, so that's the one thing. I'm 56 and you're 61, right?
yes.
So
And I'm happy to be 61.
I mean, I am
screamed
too.
it
I'm
out.
like, let's do this. Like, I'm good. So, and I think that that's important that we both celebrate like that journey.
Yes.
And, but no, few people when they start in pageantry really get to see a legacy of what their life is. And I think that's what's been so remarkable about this journey with Ms. Achievement World, is that I really get to show my legacy through what I've done through with pageantry. And I did a reel last week that was like from the day, one of the very first pageants I did until now. And I thought, I started crying when Ms. Achievement Nigeria watched. She's one of my friends from last year, Stephanie. She watched it. She goes, "Girl, I was sobbing. What were you thinking? Like, that was not okay." And I thought, wow, the girl that I was that first time on stage in comparison to who I am now, and knowing that I've had the opportunity to touch lives, not
Yes.
just this year, but throughout this whole time. And I got the great honor yesterday to meet Kella Price, who is our Dr. North.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, she's
I
here.
love her.
I was like, but like, the fact that the ladies will call me and go, "Hey, I'm in Miami," or I'm here in Orlando," or "Come and see me." I think that that's wonderful. I'm like, I want to go to Texas now.
Oh, I want you to come.
I know. I told Kella, I miss it. I miss being in Texas. I miss, because that's really where a big part of my pageant journey became really successful. And I was Mrs. Texas for 4 different systems. I mean, legit, like it was, I was a Texan. So
Well, as Nancy, Miss Petite USA, told me that, remember, Texas is big, so do things big.
big. The higher the hair, the closer you are to God.
And I love it. I love that part.
The hair's
I have
flat,
to
like, I
say,
guess I'm not close to God.
yes, I have to say that I have the spirit of joy in me right now, like overflowing. Like everything I do, I'm just loving. I'm having a really fun time. I just decided to, I put in hard work. We've already submitted all of our submissions.
Yeah.
So the work is done mostly. So what we want to do now is just enjoy this ride, enjoy these last few days until the pageant, and just enjoy each other and, have fun. So when I make videos now, it's fun. I love getting dressed up and twirling around in dresses. I love getting in my swimsuit and twirling around, and Dr. Kella's seen it and she's like, "You really need to post that." But, I'm waiting, just having fun. That's what I want to do.
And it should be fun. And that's the thing. I think, again, when we're younger, we focus on I got to win the crown. I got to win the crown. I got to win the crown. And yeah, we want to win. Let's face it. We all want to.
Right.
But I think that then you miss the journey and the joy. You know, I know a year ago, we at this point, we had all finished interview and then we all got into chat and in Messenger and we're all like, what did you do? How did you feel? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, blah, 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 blah. And then it was about 4:00 and we all went, oh, I think we need a nap. Like,
I think I'm going to need a nap for real.
we need a nap. And so everybody went and took a nap. And then we decided to get all dressed up and we wore evening gowns for crowning. Because that was really the choice. And I think in our group, we're going to have to decide, do we want to wear evening gowns or do we want to be more chill? So a bit, because every sister every year is going to have their own feel to it.
Yeah.
So, well, and let's talk about, because you talked about already submitting your work. So let's talk about the areas of competition. Okay. Tell me what the areas are.
So we had to do evening gown video. And I just want you to know that DeeAnna said, don't hire professionals, do everything yourself. You know, maybe you can use your husband. I used my daughter helped me teach me how to use some Instagram things, just things like that. But overall, I did 100% by myself. And when I say did everything by myself, I mean hair, makeup,
in the house. Sister Queen. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi, Esther. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I love her, by the way.
I do too.
So, anywho, I did everything by myself, and so my husband was holding the camera, and I was trying it that way, but for some reason, it wasn't working out like I thought it should. Right. So I just sent him on his way to work. And I put it up in my foyer, and I had the little push button thing to start the camera, and I just did it myself. And then
that's cool.
I just did it myself and just loved it and had fun with it. And then, when it was done, it was done. It was complete. It was great. It was fun in the end.
That's mine. We started it. I wanted to have the Miami skyline in the background and I wanted people to see the ocean. It was
so beautiful.
It needs to be. But we started during the day. It ended up being the night because it started pouring rain where we were at.
I remember that.
And I was like, okay. So by the time we got to the finished product, I had been drenched. And I just
didn't know it by seeing it.
There's a great behind the scenes of my husband going, no, it's like this, and he's walking, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's watched Miss Congeniality too many times. So, but we had fun doing it, and I think that's part of, it's a 30-second video, so like, where else are you going to get 30 seconds where you can do it over and over and over again if you want to? Normally, when you go on stage for a live pageant, by the way, it is a virtual pageant for everyone that doesn't know. So for a live pageant, you've got that time on stage and that's it. Whereas with this, you can play around with it and have fun. Yes. Oh, okay, let me try this. Oh, nope, I don't like that. I don't like that angle. Okay, let me do this. So,
but that added a little stress too.
I know it does, because like the technology is like, seriously.
Technology is hard. And then you get it right and then something's wrong, or the wind blew, or this happened, or this fell down, or, I don't know. But the other thing about this that was challenging was knowing when to say when, because I think I saw you live on something on one of our things with DeeAnna, and you said it took 4 hours for yours, and but it only took one take on your field presentation. So, and you said you just wanted to send it in. So Nancy and I talked about June 25th was the day I was going to turn everything in. It was going to be early. No matter what the deadline, June 25th is when DeeAnna Krier is turning it in. Yeah. So I stayed true to that. And one day I just said, I'm going to do what Stacy did. I'm just going to love it. I could redo this 100,000 times, and each time it's going to be a little bit different.
Really different. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is trust my gut, trust God, trust the process, and be happy and send it in. And if somebody doesn't like it, I'm so sorry, but I love it.
The other time, like I go back and I didn't win field presentation. Esther did actually.
Yeah.
And I go back and I look at it and I go, I was true to myself. Like at the end of the day, that is Stacy. And I thought, it was 5 minutes. I mean, it was like 5:20, and we edited it down. I say we because my husband and I sat and tweaked it a little bit. But again, the field presentation is about your job and why you chose your job, and you have 5 minutes to do a video about what you love about it, why you chose it, what are the great parts about it, what are the not so great parts about it, and then what you would do if anybody wanted to go into the business, and suggestions you would give to them.
Yes.
And I remember just thinking, and it has to be on your phone. So again, we did it, not professionally. And and I got done, and I was like, I like this, so I'm going to share it. I don't care if anybody else likes it. It's Stacy. And then the only thing with evening gown was the wind kept blowing, and we had like no control because I had this flowy gown. So it was like everywhere.
I know. Trust me.
Anyway, all right.
My brother came over and we tried outside first. So, don't ever try that, because my hair started misting out of nowhere.
Really?
It was wet. And so my hair just went from styled to not styled. But I still have been posting some of those videos because I still like them. They're fun.
What's the one today in your pink twirly?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the day that my brother
came
over.
I gotta get, because I saw because we're doing the countdown to the crown right now. So and we did it last year, and I have to say it was the best. That was the best for me because it really let me be in the feels of what was happening. And it helped me recognize my power, which I didn't necessarily see it clearly. So I think it really helped set me up for success. But I thought it was fun too, because you go, okay, I mean, let's just show what we're gonna do. So today is, your wardrobe day. So, and I saw your twirly video. I was like, that's so cute, dude. I need to do something like that.
I just had, again, it's about, I just feel like God wants us to be youthful.
Yeah.
Our spirit. So I'm really happy to be 61 because I have some wisdom to share, but I'm going to tell you, I have a very youthful spirit, and I know how to have fun in a good, healthy way. And I don't know, I love listening to music and dancing, and I'll do it by myself at home and get excited and have a good day. And at work, and I just, I think it was a preacher just said, like, it's okay to have fun at work. So we have an environment at Baker's where we let them laugh. And, if someone's doing something funny, we have fun, or we'll go out and talk to the customers and have fun. Let's just relax, people, and have fun while we're doing something important. That's what I like to do.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. All right. So let's talk about the third part of competition, which is photogenic. And that you get to have a professional photographer. And I know there might be one in the house.
Yeah, that worked on my behalf. Score. Well, we'll see. I mean, my daughter did not win Miss Photogenic at nationals or anything, and I was so sad over that. She won lots of other ones, but I guess my brother's a professional photographer. And so I kept telling my brother, we got to make it look more pageantry. We got to make, and I kept studying photos. And he kept saying, well, okay. And we finally got the shot. And I believe it's a perfect shot. Now, whether I win or not on photogenic, I'm okay with it, but I got a good shot.
See, and again, like I know DeeAnna, she shares it because I shared the information. I said, I look like a realtor in my picture, but I wanted it to be less pageant. I wanted it to be more like that, who I am on a normal basis.
Yes, definitely.
And so like that whole shot, and even Rich, my photographer, who I think it works, he's been my photographer for 6 years, 7 years. Like he's done it, and he's the only person that catches me being me. So that has to be the same thing with your brother, is that your brother's going to catch yourself, because he knows when you're being like, tight or whatever it is that you
he knows. He can see stress. He'll go, your hands have stress, your mouth has stress, Yeah.
So, and Rich is able to kind of go, Stacy, come on, give me the Stacy. And I'm like, you mean this? And he goes, yeah, that one. Anyway, so photogenic, and then the
Photogenic was great. Yeah.
and then the next part of the competition, which is live with the judges. Oh, how do you feel about the interview?
That one is like, I'm just going to have to chillax on that one because that could overwhelm a person. So I'm just trying to stay relaxed, and I'm practicing with my husband, and I'm videotaping it. Of course, I had pageant coaching, like I said, with Nancy and Alicia. So I'm just thinking, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I just have to be me. I have to answer what DeeAnna is going to answer, not what anybody would suggest. It's got to be DeeAnna. That's what I'm going to do.
And that was when we were doing the Queen's training, that was one of the things I said, is that I knew when I left interview, because as a panel of 7 judges that we interview virtually, similar to Zoom, and you have 7 minutes, which is a longer interview process than most systems, but I think that we need the 7 minutes because this is your life. This isn't just, a small snippet of your year. This is representing who you are. And so when I got done, I said, well, if they wanted someone that is real, I got it. If they want someone that is more polished and more typically pageant, then it's going to be somebody else's crown. And honestly, I thought it was going to be Esther. Like, I really was like, Esther's been competing for a while, and she's in HR, and that's not to take away from you either. Like, I know. Believe me. Like, I mean, you've been doing all of this work too, and you've put in the good work. So this year is really tight. Like, I'm like, oh,
it is really tight, but that's okay. I mean, I like it that way because, first of all, everyone deserves to win. Any one of these people that are in the pageant, these ladies are fantastic. They're highly educated. They've accomplished a lot. They're well-spoken. They're gorgeous, so that's okay. What's the best part of this is the ride. It's the thrill of the ride. It's so much fun. I am putting a lot of work into it, but like my husband said, you are really working at this, but you are loving it. I mean, people recognize it in me. They say, we know how much you love it. So, Mark Dufang sent out an open call back in, February of 2021. And I said, oh, I'm 60. Is it okay if I send you a picture? And they go, yeah, age doesn't matter. So I sent in a picture, and then they sent it back, and they said, oh my gosh, you are gorgeous. And you're 60. They were shocked. And they go, you're beautiful. And we go, we'll see what happens. Well, they said I would know like in 15 days or something. So I told my daughter and my husband, my brother, and I'm like, oh, it's the thrill of the ride. Just the fact that Mark Dufang is actually considering me to walk a runway at Fashion Week. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. And I did not get picked, but I remember thinking it didn't even matter. Who cares? I was like a high for 2 weeks straight. I was just walking on clouds that Mark Dufang wanted DeeAnna Krier, maybe.
No, and that, I mean, and like my journey had that kind of same feel, especially this last year. So I was, young Stacy in her 15, 16 is when I started pageantry. I was like, I want to be a model. And I'm like, I'm 5'4" and I'm going to do this. And
me too.
Not going to happen. I got a news flash for you. So 2019, I walked New York Fashion Week, and I mean, I have walked Miami Swim Week twice. So, and I walked for major designers, which was crazy because I was like, how did this happen? Because not only, in my 50s, but I'm also plus size. So I was like, this world is a whole different thing. And
it really is. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that cool? People of any age, any weight, just anything can be in a pageant. Can walk the runway.
Yourself from doing it. Just go do it.
Yes. Amen.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, no. And then this year I was lucky to be chosen to be on a billboard in New York City, which was bananas. Bananas. All right. So let's talk about, what are you planning to do with this crown? Like, this crown or that crown? That crown, this crown.
Well, all crowns. Hopefully, Miss. Of course, I want to win. hopefully as Miss Achievement World, I want to carry on, and I still want to educate and mentor and serve in my community. So my community service covers all ages from birth till end of life, because I'm with the Senior Center, the Center of Hope, which helps every age and counsels and educates and feeds and clothes. And then the Children's Advocacy Center is for the CPS children that are picked up from domestic violence, and they need clothing, they need care, they need to be placed in foster care. So we're taking care of that. But I really want to take it more global, and just my Facebook page that I'm just now starting, called Prosper Your Neighbor, is for people. It's like, do you remember show and tell when you were a kid? And you
Oh yeah, of course I do.
Show your little doggy, show your little whatever specialty.
Yeah.
Well, I want to show and tell my neighbor, other people's businesses. So it's not about me talking about baker's ribs or me being Miss Achievement World. I mean, I'll be the host, but I want people to talk about their neighbor. Now, their neighbor could be literally their next door neighbor, or as on Prosper Your Neighbor, Prosper Yourself, it could literally be like your next door neighbor in business, your next door neighbor that's doing something from home, that's working at something. Or like, I happen to shop at She Shops from Kathy Amos, and she was also in the Miss Senior World pageant, and she has a business international chamber. So I would want to share about her too, because it's about global sharing, right? We're going to teach people to just love each other and share about somebody else. You don't have to talk about yourself. You can talk about your neighbor.
That's so cool. I love that. I was just saying, as you were talking about that, I was thinking, gosh, we should go to Texas, and you, Kella, and I should do like a photo shoot at whatchamacallit.
Yes. And my brother can be the photographer.
We would have fun.
He is a pro. I mean, he is a professional.
Go to stockyards. We can do totally different look in the stockyards, and the
yes,
we call it, try out all kinds of draw.
You can stay here. We have a room.
Don't tempt me. I can't yet. So
I just really, I think I'm going to see Dr. Kella Monday. Anyway, I just feel like I just really want to share things and share about, I have experiences, because anybody that's lived as long and, started their business when they were 19, you got to think, I was 19 when I started my own company. So, I think I have a lot to share about the ups and the downs and the struggles and the rewards. And I just want to teach people. Do you know there's only 19.9% of women that own business? And I would love to see that jump to 50%.
Should be more than that. There are more women in the world than there are men, and we should have representation. Hello.
Isn't that, but I'm a female-owned business, and I'm happy about it. Now, of course, my partner is my husband, but it's just a blessing. I think more women need to stand up for themselves and be business owners.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, for the most part, we have been put in a position where we feel intimidated to be able to take on that role of leadership. And I think that, especially because of previous societal norms, now different societal norms, a lot of the single moms are out there. So how can I possibly start a business when I have to work every day, all day, to be able to take care of my kids?
And that's what I'm going to teach them.
It's to find that way to be able to do that, and be able to say, you know what, I know this moment because it happened for me when I was in Texas. I just went, you know what, I trust what I know so well that I'm going to dive off the edge, and I'm going to do this by myself. And I put gymnastics equipment on a credit card. I had $5,000 limit, and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And gosh, man, it was such a blessing. It was the one thing, that feeling, that moment of like, it's sink or swim, whether, I don't have backup. So this is going to be what it's going to be. Best decision I ever made, because it changed my life so much. It gave me freedom. It gave me independence. It gave me a feeling, not even a feeling, it gave me leadership. Like it happened at the same time that I started winning titles, like major titles, so national, international titles. So that made it even cooler, because then I could be like, oh nope, I work for myself, so I'm going to go away this weekend, bye, and go do pageant stuff, whatever that was. So for anybody out there that's really thinking about maybe starting your own business, maybe talk to my friend DeeAnna, and she can help mentor you.
We adopted a daughter. I was 41 when we adopted her. So you got to think about that. And so we had just opened our business too. So she was 18 months old when we incorporated our company. So I'm just saying, you can have it all. You just have to balance it and bring everybody in. If it's a family-owned business, you bring your family in. So she has 3 brothers, so they work with us. Off and on. Right now, one of them is, but they all, they've all been apart. My brother, my other brother, my mom helps. You just get your family, and then you make your employees your family. So everybody is taking care of everybody. I promise you, if Tamara needs to go somewhere for her son because he's going to receive an award or he's going to have a game, we're all going to cover that to make sure she gets there. We care about that. And that's what you do, is you get people to care about each other. And that's how it works.
I agree. We've got a family. Our business is a family owned. My husband was not part of it when we met as I owned it. And I will never forget the day he went. He's a classically trained chef. He went, I think I want to come teach gymnastics. And I went, excuse me? And he said, yeah, no. Again, that was another big moment where we took a huge gamble, and he quit his job and he started working for me part-time, and it was the best decision we ever made. But I was like, you know nothing about gymnastics. Like, oh, okay. But he told me, he said, you have fun every day. You go to work and you love what you do. And he said, I want that. That's not fair. Everybody should have that opportunity. And I went, okay, let's go play. Like, whatever, let's do it. So it's important to have that feeling of family and to be able to, make your dreams come true, but make your dreams come true with the people that you love,
Yes, definitely.
So what advice would you give to somebody that is thinking about starting a business, but they're not really sure where to go? Like, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, you have to absolutely love whatever business you're going to start. It has to, like, being in this pageant doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like a good time. It feels rewarding. It feels something I'm living out a purpose and a plan that was created by God back when I was born. And I had that little dream when I was 7 years old. It was a big dream, actually. I shouldn't say little. I was a little girl, but the dream was huge. I couldn't even imagine it. And so we just have to love it, and then it won't be work. Okay. Right. And then when it is work, you just have to work hard. You have to get it done. You have to love what you hate, because there's parts of it you don't like. You just have to do it. You just have to love it. Just get with it. People that say things like, oh, I just don't want to do that, or oh, I've just never thought about it. And I don't need a gold star, because I was always chasing gold stars when I was a little kid because I wanted to be smart. And I thought I was dumb. And so you have to want to chase the gold star. Okay. And that's going to get you over any trouble over, oh, I got to pick my child up. Everything's going to work out because you want it that bad, and you're just going to do it. Stop procrastinating. Okay. So I have a friend that has a full-time job or a part-time job or something, and she started a little side business. And I said, listen, you're miserable at your job. You have an investment over here, but you're not putting anything into your investment. What are you going to do with that investment? It's already open. It's already invested. Now quit your job that's miserable to you and go over there and invest in your business. And guess what? You're going to love waking up every day. So guess what she did? My husband goes, you literally told her to quit her job. I'm like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because you know why? He's already got it invested.
Yeah, but then you're not investing in somebody else's dream. You're investing in your dream.
Yes.
Which I think is so important, that we fill everybody else's cups up, but we don't fill up our own. And yeah, owning a business takes a lot of work, but why would you? And I have done this myself, and that was a process, I think, that happened with me when I decided to make that jump, was that I had spent, I was working 45, 50 hours a week for somebody else. And I went, why am I doing this? Like, why am I going to make somebody else prosperous? And it's not, you recently did a post about prosperity, and prosperity isn't money. Prosperity is whatever is important to you. For me, it's changing lives. So
Yes.
why am I going to invest in somebody else's
Yes.
prosperousness?
Yeah.
Well,
Prosperity, just prosperity
prosperity.
in general. Hmm.
But why am I going to do that when I could be helping myself? Because I think the blessings come from helping other people, that you help yourself and you understand yourself. So,
That's right.
so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Goodness. Oh my gosh, so deep. Okay. All right. So what are you looking forward to most? What was your favorite area competition so far? What'd you like the
well,
best?
evening gown, even though it was stressful because you're like, I gotta lose 5 pounds, or I gotta have
Oh,
a flat
stop.
stomach. I was like, oh, is my hair going to be right? Is it going to be frizzy? It's stressful, but yet it's a blast. Are you kidding? I have a blast. I just
I
have
love that
fun.
dress. I was like, I want a pretty princess pink dress.
Oh, well, you know what I did, right? So I Facebook, or yeah, it was Facebook or Instagram, whatchamacallit, here in Dallas and in Fort Worth. It's a big store for gowns, right? Whatchamacallit. And I went, they said Ashley Loren is going to be there. And if you want her to make a dress for you, set up an appointment time. So I just messaged and said, okay, I want an appointment time. And they said, okay, are you interested in a couture dress? And I'm like, okay, sure. Not even really knowing, right? Just, okay, sure. And I met her at 1 o'clock, and she spent an hour and a half with me and with her assistant, Chris, and they picked out all the clothes for me. And she
That is
handmade
so
that gown.
cool.
The gown was handmade just for me, DeeAnna.
Oh, I love
And it
it.
was mailed to me from New York.
Oh, that's
So,
so
and
cool.
it wasn't out, don't even think it was like $5,000 or something. No, no, no. It was not. It was so reasonable. And I got 3 dresses from her. It was so reasonable. I just felt all good and warm inside. Yeah, I did.
I've judged NAM several times. They are a sponsor for NAM, and so
Yes.
I went into the showroom to get to know them, and my husband and I were looking around. And I tried on dresses, and I was like, I'm plus size, and so like we found stuff that I loved, but I was like, I didn't want to say to her, "Hey, can you make something for me?" So now I know I probably should have said something, because I didn't know that.
Actually, yeah, it was a store that said it. So I said, sure, okay. So when I got there, they said, Ashley, your appointment's here. And they treated me like just a queen, a queen. I mean, I felt like I was worth $1 million. The attention was not on her, even though here she's this big designer. And my
Yeah.
daughter had worn her dress in the National American Miss and all that. So, but yet she made me feel so special. And they brought outfit, and they put me in the outfit that the day before Miss USA was in. And I was like,
Oh,
oh my goodness, they wanted me to wear even something like what Miss USA won. It was, I don't know. I felt so good. I felt like $1 million.
Haley's in the house. Haley is Dr. California America. She's one of our sister queens. Thanks for being here, Haley. We're talking about the magic sparkly pink dress, Haley. It was custom made for her. So, because
And so I
Haley's
had put 2.
both of them.
I don't know if hey, when do we get to show? I have a question. When do we
Oh,
get to show like the evening gown videos and stuff like that? Do we wait till after the pageant?
I think we all waited to the day of pageant to show stuff. And we
Okay.
would put it in chat. Let's have everybody talk about it. I mean, it's already been submitted, so like I think
Because
it's
it's
a
already
matter
been
of,
submitted. Yeah, it's already
oh,
been done.
Haley's in the house too. Sister Queen's in the house. And so that is Ms. Achievement Cuba. So thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Oh,
All right.
hi.
So
Well, anyway,
yay.
that's what I think is, I'm anxious to show it because you want to show off what the designers have done and the time that they took to be with me and everything. So, you know,
I say we put it in chat, in our group chat, and we'll talk about it and see when you guys feel it's okay to do it. Because like again, I think we waited until after interview that we all put it all in. But I mean, it might be
okay.
fun to be able to talk about it, because like I mean, this is your pageant. This is You get the opportunity. Oh, hi, Daphne. Princess Daphne. She's one of our Because Smart is Beautiful princesses. Hey, Daph, how are you? Yes, 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 yes. That's Daph. Daph and I have our own language. All right. So what would you like to share with us that we have not spoken about that you would like other people to know about you?
I don't know. I'm an open book, right? I don't know what to share. Other than
what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm still growing up. I still got a long way to go. Yes. I mean, I do think about that. This is such an interesting question because I do think about, well, what if I do win Miss Achievement World? And then what do I want to do after that? But I'm going to be honest. Really, I want to be a grandmother, but we have 2 daughters that are, of age, but neither one, they both say they're never having kids. So if I don't have grandkids, I'm going to adopt a grandkid. I am.
Okay. There you go.
Because I want to be a grandma.
I honestly, that's one of the best parts about my job is that I do not have children, but I get everybody else's children to play with for 45 minutes and then I give them back. So there's no college. I get to have fun and they're generally, Haley says she will share her princesses with you.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
I have my 2 dogs, but I want kids because there's magic in kids, right? Like Christmas, just and Easter and all the things that we do come alive. And I miss that part. I miss that part of just how alive it is when we have little kids because we look through their eyes then,
But
that's the joy.
We should always have that child like wonder in nature and ourselves. And I think there's a song that I shared a couple of weeks ago. I have to look it up. By an artist that's on America's Got Talent. And the story is that we have all these dreams, and then at 18, all of a sudden you're an adult and all of those dreams go away and they're silly and they're foolish. And why should you not live your dream? The song is called Daydreams. If you haven't heard it,
I heard that.
But it resonated with me. I just was like, whoa. And then I realized we should live our life and have that childlike wonder all the time as adults. And why do we stop that? So, and I think that that's where pageantry allows us to be those pretty princesses that we thought we were when we were 7.
Right. And the thing is that's what God wants. It's in his Bible, in his holy word, it says to have childlike faith, to have a childlike spirit. And what he's meaning is have trust and faith, and just enjoy life, get giddy, but that doesn't mean you're not mature. I'm still mature. Right. I'm still giddy too. Like I love to play with the kids, or I just love going to movies and having fun. And when I laugh, I don't care how other people feel, but I laugh really loud in the movie theater.
So right, but would the reason Peter Pan is one of my Tinkerbell is my favorite Disney character, but because she represents never growing up and that wonder that we all, I was just at Disney last week and I want to go. I had done really well until I saw Tinkerbell fly down the castle and set off the fireworks. And then I was sobbing and all of the people that worked at Disney kind of went, "Are you okay, ma'am?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. Just give me a minute. It's fine. It's good." Because it represents that why do we grow up? Like I think that I'm an adult, but I'm not an adult. I try not to play one on TV. So anyway. All right. So how do we follow your journey? How do we know? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you tell me what you're going
to say. I don't even know what I was going to say, actually. Go ahead.
I said, how do we follow the rest of your journey? How do we, follow?
Oh, yes. Follow me on. Okay. Follow me at Mrs.DeeAnna Krier on Instagram. That's the best page to follow me at. But I also have a TikTok that I'm doing a little bit. I'm getting my fingers wet on TikTok, TikTok is different.
It's a little scary.
Huh? It is. So I'm trying TikTok, and of course I'm starting my page. I'm just now I'm putting together my YouTube channel. Again, this is all about prosper your neighbor, prosper yourself. It's all about teaching people how to give without keeping track and see what comes back to you. It's so biblical. You know, the woman that gave one little cent, one little mite, one little teeny thing, she gave all that she had, and that meant something to Jesus. And so if we give without keeping track, it is going to come back to us tenfold, 30, 70, 100-fold. That's what the Bible says. So I really want to teach that, because people think they can't afford to give. I remember when I was young and I would be thinking about church, or thinking about tithing, or thinking about offerings, or just thinking about, just giving, paying for somebody else to go with me to the movies. You always think you're tight and hang on to things. The minute you release that and you're not tight is when God just opens up the heavens and it just falls down. And that means giving.
Yeah, no, that is, and honestly, that's the whole thing about pageants, is that it's the heart of service. Like, at the end of the day, it's not this piece of jewelry. It is about the life experience I think you get from it, and that sharing yourself and sharing, your story and your passions and all the things you do.
The one thing I want to say before we go, though, is I really want people to understand that pageants are so good for young girls as long as you're in the right spirit. Like, the spirit is teaching them how to have manners and how to strive for excellence. I don't want to put a pressure on them, but I do want them to strive. And I want them to reach up and reach out, and I want them to learn and grow. And I want them to learn about their health, and I want them to learn how to take care of their bodies, right? So that they can be a blessing to somebody else. It's not, people mock pageants or think, oh, they're just empty women that are pretty. No, nobody's empty. We're full of knowledge and life. And if we're beautiful on top of that, thank God, because beauty is from the inside spirit. It doesn't matter what your shell is. Beauty comes from the inside that God gives you. So, it doesn't matter my age. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter our sizes. It doesn't matter, our brain. If my IQ's 89 and somebody else is 140, that doesn't matter. It matters what's inside. It's your spirit.
You just give it yourself.
That's what we're teaching people.
Yeah.
And people should be so proud. If any woman or young girl comes into your business and says, will you sponsor me? Yes. The answer is yes. Even if they're playing soccer or if they're doing something, yes. If the little kid came in and said, will you sponsor me at the rodeo? The answer is yes. Yes. Give them and get involved and watch them flourish. And then they'll come back and, give you thank yous, and their mothers and their whole family. Then you become family. The answer is yes.
Oh, that's great advice. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
So let's just say yes to life.
Yes. 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 Okay.
Yes. Do you want to come see me in Texas? Yes.
Yes, I
do. I want to go to Disney World with you? Yes.
Yes.
When you were I think you missed Cuba.
Yeah, with Maylee.
In Cuba. I want to be there.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome, magical moment. And there was a part. Yes, Queens, Haley says. Yes.
Why don't we all go to Disney World? Can we say that?
Yeah, Esther says yes. Yes.
Yes, Esther. Ooh, she's so lovely.
We should do one like with all of us, like have everybody come in and
yeah, we should. We should all go. Let's go.
We should all go to Disney World. I am saying that should happen. So yes,
that should happen. I'm in. That's what they do at NAMS. Everybody goes to Disneyland. That's the time of your life.
It is, and that was
memories.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Well, thank you, my love. I am so grateful. See, and I told you, was it half an hour? Nope. We started talking and we got into our thing and we had fun. And does it matter? Nope, because we're having a good time. That's all that matters. All right, give me just 1 second. Hold tight, and I'm gonna close the show out. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope you had a good time. You got to hear all about the Ms. Achievement World program, getting to know more about DeeAnna's heart, as Ms. Achievement Texas, and I'm grateful for her for being with us, and grateful for all of my pageant sisters that have been here with us as well. And then to our amazing leader, Diana Lawrence, I love you. You're an amazing director. And I hope that if anybody's interested in Ms. Achievement World, you can go to drworldproductions.com and find out all about it. Maybe you can get this, or maybe you can get Deanna's crown, or we've got sparklies for everybody, even princesses. So thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Stay safe.